It's lights, camera, and innovation. I like to say it that way. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Scene 360, your one-stop show where we take you or take a full 360-degree look at everything film, music, entertainment, but of course, we do it the Idea TV way. And what I mean by we do it the Idea TV way, I mean we do it smart, we do it thoughtful, and of course, we do it fun. My name is Cynthia, but you can call me the lady with no AKA. And today we are kicking things off with something big. Yes, what other way to, or what better way to kickstart the premiere episode of Scene 360 without talking about Nollywood? So today we are talking about Nollywood in 2025. We're talking about what's hot, what's changing, and what is finally, I feel like it's finally time rather to say Nollywood has leveled up. Well, we're about to find out today if truly Nollywood has leveled up.
The whole nation was on the march. And for the first time, we are chanting the same chorus with our voices.
Democratize generative AI. Generative AI, which creates new content like text, images, or music, is becoming more accessible. This trend is enabling businesses and individuals to leverage powerful AI tools without needing deep technical expertise. Tools like DALL-E are already transforming marketing, entertainment, and design. However, as generative AI becomes democratized, concerns about copyright infringement and misuse of content are rising.
Welcome back. You're still watching Scene 360, and it's safe to say you didn't miss much. In case you're just joining, you're right on time. But before we talk about today, before we talk about Nollywood in 2025, let's rewind a little. Remember the 90s where Nollywood was all about those, straight to CD dramas. Some of your aunties probably had full collections of sitting by their TV side. Those times where we go to video clubs, where we, that's how they call it in Nigeria. They say it's video club. We go to video clubs, you pay, and then you rent a film. Is that the right way to put it? I guess you rent a film, you pay, you collect it, you go look for movies, and then you write your name down that you took this film, you pay something, and then you return the movie. All of those stages, I can resonate very well. I can remember, it's giving me a nostalgia feeling. But then fast forward to the 2010s, there was this boom, the cinema culture returned, and suddenly we were dressing up to go watch Nigerian films on the big screen again. And after that, I remember I was still planning to go, well, before I visited the cinema, I think the cinema time, all the cinema era, cinema culture had begun to pass away a little. By that time, I was still planning, how am I going to go to the cinema? I want to see a movie, but then I finally went. But then the whole craze about, or the whole hype about cinema, visiting the cinema began to die down. And then came Netflix for people like us who likes to be, indoors, Cinema came, we got Prime Video, Nollywood went global with all of those different digital streaming platforms. We had movies like King of Boys, which trended worldwide. It was a big break for the producer of the movie, and we also had directors like Kunle Afolayan, Jade Osiberu, and CJ Obasi, who are consistently, I don't even want to use a past tense here, they are consistently putting Nigeria's name on the map at different film festivals. Talk of the Toronto Film Festival, talk of Berlin, talk of Cannes, you name it. And now, here we are in 2025. Nollywood feels like, it has finally found its rhythm. Nollywood feels like it is here. To me, Nollywood feels like this is the time. Like, sometimes I get this proud Nigerian moment, like, what better time it is to be a Nigerian than in 2025. So now let's check what's new in 2025. So, what's new about Nollywood in 2025? Here's the scoop. We talk about streaming revolution, and me, I like to put it this way. It's streaming revolution 2.0 because, like I said earlier on, like I mentioned earlier on, we've got Netflix, we have Prime Videos, we have Showmax, you name them, and even digital streaming platforms where you can even download films like Net Ninja, like Ninja Rocks, so many of them. And they are not just buying movies, all of these digital streaming platforms, they are also funding them, which means is they are setting bigger grounds for Nollywood. If we look at it that way, they are setting bigger grounds for Nollywood to climb. And we now have bigger budget, we now have riskier stories. We don't have to be scared about, oh, Nollywood, okay, they shot this film in 1 week because they cannot afford funding for it. Or maybe they had to, deal with minimal sets, or they wouldn't take that risk of traveling. Before a film can be shot in just one setting, and then the movie comes out in a week, and then it's everywhere. But now we are seeing African mythology being explored to its full essence, rather. And then we are seeing sci-fi in movie. I remember there's this film I watched, was this Suspicion, nice film. Stan Nze acted in that movie, and it was very nice. I saw Nigerians doing the whole film trick, the whole kung fu and all of those things, the whole karate moves, and it was very intriguing to me, and I know it's intriguing to us out there. So we're now putting our stories in proper, storylines, in proper narratives, in the way they should be. I don't even need to. We don't even need to bother about films like or series like Game of Thrones, And these days, who knows? Maybe Game of Thrones will one day be shot in Nigeria. We don't know. Now, talking of box office explosion, cinema culture is back. That's what I will say. It's back, like with capital letters, BACK. It is back. If you go to big cities in Nigeria like Lagos, like Abuja, like Port Harcourt, the halls are always packed full, especially on weekends. In short, not only on weekends, weekends after weekend. I mean, people are working online jobs now, so there's nothing like, there's no weekends again in the world, because some people are working online jobs, so you get time to go out anytime you want. If you go to the cinemas, week in, weekday, you see people. Week in or week out, you see people in the cinema. And guess what? Ticket prices are also becoming quite fair and student friendlier. I remember when I was a student of when I was doing in a film school, I was always excited to go to the cinema because I get the chance to use my student ID cards. But then, because of how Nigerians are, cinemas are seeing good turnouts. People are now coming to the cinema. That cinema culture is coming back. Remember, I told you, like, during the 2010s, it started booming, and then sometimes along the line, it died off slowly. But then it is back. It is back in its full potential, and tickets are out there for people to buy. People can afford tickets, and you get a popcorn too. And finally, a date night there can be planned. You don't need to break the bank for a date night. The cinema is there. And let's talk about soundtracks. Soundtrack matters. That's what a lot of people do not know. When we talk about building storylines, building, everything must align. Everything must come to place for you to get that real essence of the story, for you to get that verisimilitude. And Nollywood soundtracks are now charting on Apple Music and Spotify. Take Kill a Monkey. It's an original soundtrack. And if you just go and check To Kill a Monkey's soundtrack on Spotify and see the wonders it is doing on Spotify. Everybody is downloading, everybody is playing, everybody is streaming it like no man's business. And I'm seeing a whole lot of Nollywood movies adopting that style. And not To Kill a Monkey style, but creating original soundtracks for movies, and that's what I like to see. Let's see the story, let's see how it connects, because something must take you away. I mean, if the actors do not blow you away, the soundtrack may blow you away. And we are talking hit songs born out of movies. I mean, some of these songs, I mean, even To Kill a Monkey, or one of, I think, or to Finding Messiah, is that the name of the movie? Finding Messiah is coming out soon. I think that movie featured Two-Face Idibia, and the song is out there, is blazing everywhere. And that is to tell you that music is no longer just in the background, it's becoming part of the experience. Who doesn't like a nice experience? Talking of international collabs, we've got Nollywood meeting Hollywood and Bollywood. We've seen that with, what's her name? I'm going to remember her name and get back to you. We've seen her featured in Bollywood movies. We've seen most Nigerian actors featured in Bollywood movies. And when I talk featured in Bollywood movies, not this time as that, African friend, that African, friend that must tag along. We are talking of big Nigerian names starring alongside international names. And we love to see this. These are the things we love to see. We're not seeing big cast. We're not seeing them, co-producing movies. And like I said before, there's no better time to be a Nigerian than now, and I'm so excited. Talking of tech on set, because we like to talk about tech here on Idea TV. Talking about set is something that has, or tech rather, tech is something that has blown my mind, or should I say sort of draw my attention for a while now, especially in recent times. We're in a digital world, and I always look out for a Nollywood that would, have film tricks, have the old Tom Cruise style, have the old James Bond kind of, style, have the old Matrix style, and all of those things. So, but I'm seeing that happen in Nollywood movies these days. I mean, I even watch Funke Akindele's new release, Everybody Loves Jennifer, and I saw a whole lot of martial arts. I saw a whole lot of karate, and I was so excited. Like, your Nigerian actors that you feel like, even Funke Akindele, she performed some karate move in that movie, and I'm so happy to see that we now see authentic, authentic work. I can see their works, and these stories do not just feel grounded again. They have the Nigerian experience. You can feel the full experience of it. I want to see more of how we can explore tech, other aspects of tech, even AI in our movies. I even saw that in To Kill a Monkey, but then it was not fully explored. But then I want to see more of it. And honestly, I'm here for it, because there's nothing worse than watching a Nigerian movie and thinking, why does this look like a video game, cutscene? I mean, I hate to see that, but we are finally getting that balance right. And this is the time. I love what is happening in Nollywood. And I want to see where Nollywood goes in 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, and 2030. Am I dreaming too big? But then 5 years from now is not so far. I want to see where Nollywood gets with this. Now, let's look at the new Nollywood.
It's already moving.
It's not moving. It's not moving. I found my people already. I found greatness.
Very important, we're getting people with good vibes. Everybody here was top tier with their crap.
This is history, baby. History, baby. History, baby. Two shots. I'm on number 2010 and still counting. Count cause I am. Definition of longevity. After I'm gone.
So this is not Nollywood of 5 years ago. Storylines are now deeper. I was talking of budgets the other time. Our budgets are now bigger. We are now ambitious. Yes, it's safe. I think it's safe to use the word ambitious. We are now ambitious with our budgets. And most importantly, audiences are demanding more. And when your people demand more, what do you want to do? You give them what... Nollywood is like demand and supply, because you cannot do just what is on your mind. Yes, you want your audience to see another side of life, or something from your mind, something from your envisioning, but at the end of the day, it is what the people want, you want to give them. Look at movies like Jagun Jagun, look at movies like Shantitan. They didn't just tell a story. They made us feel it. if you've seen the movie, I'm sure you can attest to this. They made us feel it. But where hurts me the most, not the movie, but in Nollywood generally, is that it's not always rosy, because we have piracy issues, and it is still the problem until now. We thought we've grown past that, but no. I remember when after Funke Akindele's last movie, and then she was calling the cinema out because of budget. I think the box office issues or something, that some of the earnings, although she broke the box office, but then there were still some problems. She encountered with piracy. I think even Pere also produced a movie which he complained a lot about piracy and some other issues with, cinemas and and whatnot. But then funding can still be tricky, because there's always that question: how do we stay true to ourselves as Nigerians, as Africans too? How do we stay true to ourselves? This is not peculiar to Nigeria, it's to everybody, to all African nations. How do we stay true to ourselves while making films that global audiences will watch? For long, we've been watching movies from other countries, especially Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, and in recent years, we've been watching all of those K-pop dramas, those K-dramas, those Korean movies, Philippine movies, and they break the whole world. They broke the global scene. But then, how are we going to stay authentic as Nigerians? What are we going to make of Nollywood in 2025 and moving on?
Need for niceness or all these unnecessary friendly things that you're doing.
Are you this nasty to everyone you see, or is there something about me?
I have a problem with you and the entire male gender. If you've met any member of my family,
I want to meet them.
Of course, the streets always have an opinion. We asked and you retweeted. So here's what you said about Nollywood in 2025. First tweet we have here is from a Roko critic. And he says, or she says, I know I make fun of YouTube a lot, but my favorite output from Nollywood this year has been on YouTube. Okay, I think that's fair. That's fair enough. YouTube is giving filmmakers a chance to shine, especially young filmmakers. You go out there, we'll see Ruth Kadiri, what she has done. We'll see Omoni Oboli, what these women are doing. And I'm so excited that it's women. I think it's no longer a men's world, it's a women's world. But then, yes, we're talking about YouTube, we're talking about movies. These movie producers are killing it. These filmmakers are killing it. And I love that YouTube is giving them that chance to, shine. Yes. And we've got another tweet from the General, and he says, or she says, the future of Nollywood is in safe hands. I so much love the optimism of this comment. It carries so much weight. Is it safe for me to say it's Nollywood Gen Z takeover? Well, I'm ready to say that. I'm not a Gen Z, I'm a millennial, but then we want to see where Nollywood is going. We're saying Nollywood is in safe hands. I think with Gen Z, Nollywood is in safe hands. Well, I questioned that, but then I'm ready for it. I'm all for it. Moving on to the next tweet, we've got a tweet from Abbas. Abbas says Gen Zs will love this particular movie. I don't know which movie he's talking about, but then what caught my attention is that he says, or she says, Nollywood is truly improving. Yes, Nollywood is truly improving. There will, as long as, and I'm saying there will, in quotes, as long as the Wi-Fi doesn't cut out halfway through, because we know what's happening with infrastructure, but I don't want to go deep down. We are in an, how did the first commenter say it? We are in an optimistic era. So let me just take and suck in all the optimism rather. So moving on, we have another tweet from Pere. Yes, Pere I was talking about. Pere is a filmmaker, and he's an alumni. I like to call them the alumni of Big Brother Naija. And he has a long thread here, and this is about South Africa versus Nigeria film industry. According to him, and I quote, my point wasn't to download Nollywood. Truth is, downplay Nollywood. Truth is, we are giants in numbers, talent, and global influence. But South Africa has built structures and discipline we can learn from. Nigerians are protective of Nollywood because it is one of the largest film industries in the world by volume and a source of cultural pride. So when you compare, some interpret it as Nollywood is trash. But what I said was about technical advancement and work ethics, not talent. And here's why it is fair. Constructive observation. According to him, it's a constructive observation. South Africa's industry is ahead in certain aspects. He continued saying, I mean, it's a long tweet. That doesn't mean Nigeria lacks talent, but their system gives more polish. That's why collaboration makes sense. Nollywood's raw creativity and global influence plus South Africa's technical precision and systems equals to world-class cinema. Collaboration, not rivalry, is how African storytelling will truly dominate globally. If you deny this or oppose this clear, fair observation, then I don't know what to tell you. These are words straight from Pere. And I think he's right. Pere is dropping some real talk here if we look at it. And honestly, he's right. Because South Africa has the structure if we look at filmmaking. But then we have some, Nollywood, Nigeria have some raw creativity. We have so many potential. I always say it lying in here. We have so many wonderful potential yet to be untapped. And if we join forces, this is not a war. This is not a Nigerian jollof versus Ghana jollof or whatever jollof versus this jollof. This is Pere trying to say, I'm not defending him, but what I see from here, what I perceive from here is that he's trying to say if we join forces, I don't know where we'll go as Africans. I think Africa would run the world cinema, and that's what we want. Moving on, we have another tweet from Nefertiti. And this is a huge upgrade, according to Nefertiti. This is a huge upgrade for Nollywood. There are so many Nigerian stories to tell. I don't know what is a huge upgrade, but then she says there's so many Nigerian stories to tell. And yes, 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 yes. More than juju, more than love triangles. I mean, for long we've watched Ramsey Noah, Saint-Obi, you know, all of those our love movies. For those that love romantic movies, they love. We've seen so many love triangles. Is either love my way, I love you, my heart, my roses. So many names, so many names. I mean, those movies have stood the test of time, and we enjoyed them while they lasted. I came across a video online. Was it Genevieve and one of these popular actors, I think, is this Saint-Obi or Emeka Ike in that movie, and it's a love movie, and people were commenting. If you go online now, you'll see many short clips of some of those old movies resurfacing online, and people are talking about them. People are like, bring back this time, bring that. So I think every time is worth it. There is no time that isn't worth it. As at the time some of those juju movies, love triangle movies, you know, those romantic movies lasted, that was the time, that was their era, and we enjoyed them. And moving down to now, we want to see more from Nollywood. We want to see more groundbreaking stories. We want to see more stories that tells of our African heritage, of so many things lying in here. It could still be love, it could still be romance, but let's dig into history, you know. Let's tell of our heroes, let's tell of our culture, and we'll see where Nollywood will go after and in 2025. Still, Nefertiti says, and I quote, but more than 180 million Nigerians cannot afford a movie ticket. I don't know where she got the statistics from, but then that's what she says, and I quote, say piracy will always be a problem. Remember, starting off, I was talking about piracy, how piracy will still be a problem. And yes, it's obvious that piracy is a problem. You bring out a film today, and the next thing you're seeing that film everywhere. Even these days, you give it to a cinema, and then people go there, take some shots of the movie or records the full movie and take it out there to sell, and they make money out of it. While you are left there, your film is making money out there for some other person, and then you are left with nothing. And I pity for our filmmakers, and we should do better. Pirates, it's time we stop it. We want to see how we can. All of these things dwindles Nigeria's growth, whether we like it or not. Do we know that the film industry contributes to Nigeria's growth and development? I mean, if we don't know, we have to check that up. And I feel it's a challenge. This comment is a challenge for us to, see how we can, propel our country. Let's not ignore what this comment in particular is saying. We should watch out for piracy, and filmmakers, please back it up with legalities as much as you can. Yes. Moving on, I have so many comments here. I might not exhaust all, but then I just picked out all the important ones for you. Call Me Maisie says, and I quote, casting too many YouTube stars might be compromising quality. I don't know where she got that from, but it's a spicy take, or where he or she got that from. It's a spicy take. And what I'll say is that balance is the key. When we have the YouTube stars, because we know what social media algorithm is doing these days, there's this war between virality and what should be vital, what should go viral and what should go. What should go viral and what is vital. There's this war, but then there's that thin line, and that thin line, I say, is balance. If we have YouTube stars and we know they can stand as influencers, we know influencer is a big time job. Influencing is a big time job these days. So we know what these YouTube stars do. Most of these influencers and all of them, they influence some stuff for us where you cannot market your stuff to. They take it there for you. Just by dancing or singing or maybe changing clothes and whatnot. But then, if we have some of these YouTube stars, we can give them training. And at the end of the day, I would just say give them a good script. Give them a good direction. I'm always particular about how films are directed. If you have a good director for a movie, I think you get a good movie. And a good director can even turn a bad script into a good script. So if you have some of these YouTube stars and you know they can influence your movie and take it to where you want it to go, bring them, train them, give them a good script, give them a good director too, or a good direction. I'm sure your movie will be a blast. And then Daniel Rega, our very own Daniel Rega, who doesn't know? The streets of X, that's formerly Tweet, knows Daniel Rega. Who doesn't know Daniel Rega? And this is his quote, this is his comment rather, and I quote, Nollywood barely welcomes new faces and some actors in every film, tribalism. It's a long quote, but I just have to, concise it to the main points. You know what? Daniel Rega might be blunt. We all know him. Who doesn't know him? Not only on the streets of Twitter, even on Facebook and Instagram, every other social media platform, everybody knows Daniel Rega. He might be blunt. We know him as a very blunt person, a very controversial fellow, but he has a point with this. Fresh talent and new writers are how we keep Nollywood alive. As simple as that. I take you to two tweets. One is from Orozco. Orozco says, and I quote, "We are due for a cinema blockbuster now." And then Amadioha. Oh, this name, this name set me off my feet, but yeah, I'm calm for you people. Imagine exploring 250 plus ethnic cultures. That's what Amadioha is saying, and I quote, "Nollywood would be busy for 100 years. Who is going to stay? Would I be alive? Will I be alive until 100 years from now? I don't know, but yes. Yeah, they have a point with this. Nollywood, the people are asking, are we ready? Yes, but before we wrap up, let's hit you with 5 quick Nollywood facts. And number 1 is that Nollywood produces over 2,000 films a year. And yes, that's more than Hollywood. Check it. Check for evidences. Number 2 is that Lagos now has over 50 cinemas. Plenty of places for that weekend date, like I told you in the beginning. And number 3 is that Nigerian movies earned over 12 billion naira in box office revenue in 2024. So Nollywood is big business, like I tell you. I can't wait to see when we calculate box office. I want to see box office report for 2025 by the end of this year. I want to see I'm very, very sure that it's going to beat this 12 billion naira, because the movies that came out this year, I mean, those are movies that I feel like they're going to stand the test of time. Number 4 is the Nollywood actors are getting global brand, like global brand deals rather, like skincare, like fashion, like tech, you name them. Nollywood actors are everywhere. And number 5 is the Nigerian film schools are seeing a 40% rise in enrollment. This tells us that the future is bright. I mean, the next generation is lining up for what is to come, and they are bringing it to us. I mean, with the Gen Z, I can't tell, these Gen Z people, I can't even tell what they can do, but then let's watch out for it. And that's a wrap on the very first episode of Scene 360. Nollywood is not just surviving, know that. And know this for real, it is thriving. And in 2025, we are all witnessing, or should I say we are all witnesses to something special. So join me next time as we take another deep dive into the world of entertainment, because here on Scene 360, we don't just watch, we understand, we explore, and we celebrate. I am Cynthia Bassi. Like I said before, you can call me the lady with no AKA. See you next time or next week. Until then, keep the cameras rolling. No, I like to say it's lights, camera, innovation.